Hi, my lovelies. Just a quick announcement. Since February is my birthday month, as a tradition, I always open a period of a discount for all my sessions. So this year, I wouldn't do it any differently. The discount is 43%. So when I turn 100, the sessions will be for free. Hang in there. We'll all get there. So I'm going to leave the code for those bookings. The sale will be available until the 16th of February. You can book just one or multiple. You can book for yourself or to gift someone. But it will be available from today until the 16th of February. So reach out, make your own bookings. You can see the schedule on the bookings page, and the date where you book the postcards is actually the day and time that you receive them on your inbox. Okay, so be mindful of that. You don't have to wait or question when you're going to get them. When you book the day and the time, it's exactly when you get it on your email. Okay, I'm going to love you and leave you, and let's get into the postcard of today. Hi Bloomers, welcome to another postcard from the angels. I feel that this one today is going to be an extended one, and it goes a little bit deeper because there were so many images coming to me in my meditation that I feel it's going to take a while for me to unravel all of this information. So the first image I saw was actually someone with a pair of what seemed like binoculars in front of their eyes. But it was actually one of those toys we used to have when we were kids that you press a button and then the image changes inside of the binoculars, right? And the person was constantly pressing the button and the images would change in front of their eyes, right? And so they started talking about a shift in reality. So we experience a lot of shifts within our energy and within our thoughts and our emotions and the way we respond to our environment. But in this case was really the changing of reality itself. And this is very much connected with a cycle of soul contracts that were, I want to say, terminated, expired in regards to your soul family. So up until now, you had perhaps a very close bond with certain people in your life that were meant to be with you for a specific period in time for that specific soul contract. But up until now, everything that you have been healing was trauma bonding that you had with some people, but not just people, a very specific energetic signature, like I explained last time, that triggers a very peculiar reaction in you, right? That you feel instantly attracted to the person or instantly feel the pull to connect with them. And that soul family has been with you for that, the healing of that trauma bonding, right? So there were people who served as mirrors in your life so that you could heal the pain and the struggle and the suffering that you were going through, right? They were there for that purpose. They walked with you so you could release all of those soul patterns and signatures and energetic attachments that you had with some situations and some people from the past. And so they almost became a companion for you to walk along that path because you were both going through the same. Now, what I feel is that there is a cut of a lot of those soul contracts and almost like an expiration date happening where you press the button in the binocular and all of a sudden your reality is different. So the way this might translate into your life is that you all of a sudden see some people walking away from your energy, or you feeling disconnected from them all of a sudden because your interests just go different ways, or your projects are not compatible, or whatever the situation is. Could even be one of you being in a relationship and the other one don't. But there's like a separation of purpose and almost like the end of that soul contract, and it's almost like a fork in the road where two people take different exits, right? These adjustments that are happening in your soul family are happening so new mirrors can come into your life. The new mirrors that come into your life in the shape of new people are not operating from the same energy of scarcity that you were dealing with in the past, because that shift has happened within you already. Even if you don't feel ready, you have done a lot of internal work that will allow you to step into a whole new reality now. So the new mirrors that are coming, they are more connected with the practical sense of prosperity, right? Because up until now, your prosperity, your success, and your abundance was built internally, right? You had to almost break yourself down and build yourself up with a new mindset, a new way of living, a new way of looking at perhaps money, perhaps relationships, abundance, prosperity, success, your job, your home, your family, your place in the world, your purpose, your mission, right? So up until now, what has been happening with you was a very intense period of having to deal with a lot of soul contracts that were creating the right environment for you to heal within. And once those contracts come to an end, people stop resonating with each other. They stop feeling connected. Somehow you don't feel attracted. You don't feel pulled. You don't feel excited to have that connection anymore. And you feel pulled towards more a different type of people in your life. But also, your own interests may change. The things you watch, the things you read, the specific area that you feel interested about, right? So that shift happened, excuse me, internally, and it is now coming into a peak, a culmination, where new mirrors need to come in to reflect the practicality of life, right? The practicality of money, jobs, relationships, really to almost show you and teach you the humanity of things, the physicality of things, because everything that you have been creating so far was in the realm of your own mind and your own spirit, right? So you have created the blueprint of your soul mission together with spirit over the last few years. Excuse me, throat chakra much. And now it's almost like you have been sitting with the architects of your soul mission, and you're about to have a meeting with the builders and the engineers that are going to show you how to build it, right? So if you have been gathering all your tools, all your knowledge, all your wisdom, all your strength, and doing a lot of healing up until now, now is the moment where you need to get your hands in the dirt and actually practice all of those things that you have learned. So with the entrance of these new mirrors into your life, they are very much in alignment with the building, the foundation of that which you have already created within yourself with spirit, in terms of your creations and manifestations, the things that you want to bring into this world, the concept of the idea that you want to build. Now these mirrors are really going to show you how to do it in terms of actually building the foundation for it, the practicality of it. And I understand how this can be a hard transition, because you're going to have to do a lot of adjustments. First of all, the adjustments of letting go of old contracts that no longer fulfill you. And this can be hard because it can be even family members, can be really good friends that you have. It can also be the end of relationships, in terms of romantic partnerships that come to an end now, and you really realize that this can no longer come with me into the future, right? So there's that closing of the cycle that can be hard, but also adjusting your mindset from one of being very much working on a concept mentally and spiritually, to actually having to apply that in your reality, right? This needs adjustment as well. It's great to have an idea of our mission, our purpose, what we want to create in this world, but then we need to take a few steps back and actually get into the foundation of it in regards to the practicality of it, the money. Maybe you need a loan, maybe you need help, maybe you need an assistant, maybe you need a partner, maybe you need a sponsor, maybe you need to create a crowdfunding. Maybe, you know, the practicality of it is actually being presented to you now going forward with this wave of new mirrors coming into your life. Now, the special thing here, and I feel that this is important, is that these mirrors are not necessarily people that are very spiritual or people that are necessarily aligned with your own spirituality. And this is where the tricky part comes, right? Us having to learn how to live in community, having to accept how other people bring information into our lives and actually make it valid, use it for something, right? So we tend to not validate so much people who are not very spiritual, but they have a role of being a teacher in our lives as well. They teach us very practical things, you know, in regards to finances and education and politics and all of that, because they are too also operating from their own higher self, even if they're not aware, right? So there is a special note here to not disregard people that come into your life now in the shape of new soul contracts that you will be perhaps dealing with them for 5 or 10 years, but to actually overcome the spiritual differences between you and them and actually embrace the information and the help and the assistance that they're bringing to you in whatever shape of relationship that this is happening, right? More than anything, there's a need here to trust where you're going, because these transitions can be somewhat a bit confusing. We get overwhelmed with the idea of what the mission is, right? So imagine if you are imagining yourself doing something that feels too big for you at the moment, it can be overwhelming to imagine the steps to get there. So there's special attention to accept help from others, ask help from others, being open, having an open mind to new mirrors coming into your life. I feel that this is very much connected also with romantic partnerships, if I have to be honest, because I talked about it last week on my Patreon page. There was a channeling on past lives and soul contracts, and there were a lot of new love partnerships being created and being manifested now, and there was a need for us to actually pay attention to a few things so love doesn't pass us by, right? So trusting your path in this part of your journey, it can be tough because you're breaking a lot of chains and a lot of cycles and a lot of patterns with your past. And so breaking chains with the past cannot happen without you actually having to break chains with some people in your life that are connected with those cycles, right? So perhaps you overcome jealousy or envy or scarcity mindset or poverty mentality, and now you look back at people that you used to connect a lot and used to resonate a lot, and now you think, I can't be in this dialogue anymore. I cannot live in this narrative anymore. There is nothing to be shared here anymore, right? Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that you are better than them. It just means that your energy outgrew that specific place. It just means that you are now having to, both of you, take a different path along the way and actually interact with different people in order to get what it is that you need individually. It just means that your soul contract as a unit together has come to an end, right? So there was a specific advice here to really be mindful of your ego. be mindful of your ego, because the ego is the thing that sabotages and completely eliminates the opportunity to actually try something. So if you're stuck in an old belief that something needs to go a certain way or needs to be a certain thing, whatever that is, perhaps your idea of success is that you can only start a channel if you have 50,000 subscribers. Perhaps you think that you can only be successful on social media if you have 1 million followers. You know, whatever are those limiting beliefs that you have created in the past because you associated them with success, they're going to have to be let go of. I really feel that a lot of these soul contracts are ending because you have transcended an energy of ego in a massive way, and you're going to start looking at people in your life who are still locked up in that ego mentality where they need to diminish others in order to feel better about themselves, or the need for gossip, or jealousy and envy is very dominant to me, you know. But anything that is very much still locked down into the ego mind, that is not allowing you to actually move forward with those people because you outgrew that mentality, it's going to have to be left behind. But it really is a matter of soul contracts, and some of them are really connected with old wounds from past lives that were being released. You know, if you feel curious, just go on my Patreon page. The channeling is there, and I'll be making another one this week as well. So I feel that this is a moment where, and you know it, that this that you have in your hands is important, and it's going to be prosperous, and it's going to bring you a lot of abundance, and it's going to bring you a lot of fulfillment and a lot of happiness and a lot of joy. Somehow I feel like an energy of protection. So perhaps this is something that you haven't made public, or you haven't shared with a lot of people, or you haven't I just feel a lot of protection, like almost if you're holding a baby, right? If you're holding a secret that you're not ready to reveal just yet. And while you go through this transition, it is important that you keep it for yourself, you know, that you don't let other energies interfere there that can create a little bit of resistance from your side even, right? If it's someone that it's not believing in what you believe in, or they have no trust on what you are wanting to create, then those are the type of soul contracts that I really see leaving from your space. I would say give yourself some grace, give yourself some compassion, not just for you, but also for the people that you are dealing with. Because we go through this so many times along our spiritual journey, right? We have people that we really resonated with at some point, and then somehow we lose the connection and people go separate ways because something has changed in one of both of their lives, right? So it's really hard. It's a hard detachment to practice. But just knowing that there is never separation, you know, there's only a different purpose that is going to take a different direction, and later on those energies will be merged and binded together. It's just a stage where you really have outgrown your environment, but you have definitely outgrown a lot of your relationships, and you're being called to look at people who are perhaps not part of the spiritual community. I feel that these are people who are not necessarily spiritual, but the way they carry themselves and the energy they bring into your life is very comfortable, and it's very trustworthy, and you actually start to feel curious to discover the world around you outside of spirituality, to tap into people who are really practical with their money, with their business, with their jobs, with their relationships, right? Those people where you have to wonder, why did I have to struggle for such a long time? And these people seem to have everything so easily. What is the difference between my mindset and theirs, right? Where did it create a separation where I had to struggle and they didn't, right? So because they have this energy that is very positive and very pure and very motivated and very driven and very practical, very grounded, this is just going to give you so much power. Because if you have been up there creating things with spirit, creating the manifestation list of things that you want to bring down to earth, these new soul contracts coming into your life, whether it's a romantic partner or not, could be a business partner as well, can be new friends, could be new connections, could be someone very influential coming into your life to perhaps assist you. They are going to be the ones allowing you to ground your plan, to be practical about it, right? So pay attention to these new people coming into your life. They are mirrors. They are definitely mirrors, but they are more mirrors of prosperity and success and abundance. Whereas before, you had a lot of mirrors from trauma and pain and struggle because you needed to release those things. And now it's a moment of releasing them and really embracing others. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. Obviously, this is a collective energy that I'm picking up on. If you need extra guidance for your personal situation, you can go ahead and order your own postcard. I'll leave the link down below. And in the meantime, I want to send you so much love and so many blessings. And I am really praying that you stay safe and protected within the power of your own heart. Big love to all of you.